This is the throttle body position sensor, also known as the TPS sensor. It is a fundamental component for proper engine operation. This sensor informs the engine control unit, ECU, of the exact position of the throttle plate. Based on this information, the ECU precisely adjusts the amount of fuel delivered by the fuel injectors at different throttle positions. In addition to directly affecting engine performance, the TPS sensor also plays an important role in automatic transmission operation. For this reason, when the sensor fails, the transmission performance may also be affected. What are the symptoms of a faulty TPS sensor? The symptoms of TPS sensor failure vary depending on the type of throttle body. Mechanical, cable-operated. Electronic, ECU controlled. Mechanical throttle bodies, common symptoms: loss of engine power, irregular acceleration, hesitation or jerking, engine bogs down during acceleration, poor throttle response, unstable idle, engine may stall suddenly, excessive fuel consumption, delayed transmission shifting, transmission does not shift properly. Electronic throttle bodies, symptoms: vehicle does not accelerate normally. Vehicle enters emergency mode, limp mode, reducing engine power or disabling cylinders. RPM instability. Where is the TPS sensor located? On mechanical throttle bodies, the TPS sensor is usually mounted on the side of the throttle body. On electronic throttle bodies, the TPS sensor is integrated internally inside a plastic cover, usually black, located on the side of the throttle body. Typically, this cover houses two sensors, TPS1 and TPS2. How to test the TPS sensor? Mechanical throttle bodies. The TPS sensor has three main circuits: 5-volt reference, sensor ground, signal output. Power supply test, 5-volt reference. Set the multimeter to the 20 volts DC scale. Measure the voltage between the power supply pin and ground. You should obtain approximately 5 volts. If voltage is not present, there may be a wiring fault or an open circuit. To confirm this, refer to the engine wiring diagram and identify the ECU pin that provides the 5-volt reference to the TPS sensor. Perform a continuity test between the ECU pin and the TPS connector pin. If continuity is not present, the wiring is damaged and must be repaired. Note: this sensor may share the 5-volt reference with other sensors such as the map sensor, crankshaft position sensor, or camshaft position sensor. Ground circuit test. Set the multimeter to the continuity scale. Check continuity between the TPS ground pin and chassis ground. Continuity must be present. If continuity is not present, the ground circuit is faulty and must be repaired. Signal output test. Set the multimeter to the 20 volts DC scale. Connect one probe to chassis ground and the other probe to the signal wire of the sensor with the sensor connected. Slowly open the throttle plate. The voltage should vary approximately as follows: 0.5 volts with the throttle closed to up to 4.5 volts with the throttle fully open. If the voltage does not change smoothly or remains fixed, the sensor is defective and must be replaced. Electronic throttle bodies. These systems typically use 6 wires with the following functions: 5-volt reference supply, sensor ground, TPS1 signal output, TPS2 signal output, throttle motor control circuit 1, throttle motor control circuit 2. The tests are performed in the same way as with the mechanical TPS sensor, with the difference that TPS1 and TPS2 signals are inverse to each other. For example, TPS1 0.5 volts to 4.5 volts as the throttle opens, TPS2 4.5 volts to 0.5 volts as the throttle opens. These signals can be measured with a multimeter. However, the most accurate method is by using a diagnostic scan tool. If both sensors have proper power and ground, but one of them does not generate a signal when the throttle plate is moved, the sensor is faulty and must be replaced. If you liked this video, don't forget to share it with your friends on social media. I also recommend watching the next videos on the channel, where you will learn how to identify failure symptoms and solutions for all the sensors in your vehicle.